Ilah.
Ilah.
Ilah. So that's why that's and Elohim too, as a majestic. So when they want to speak like kind of like high standard,
Right.
they call him Elohim
All right.
as a way of making him kind of grandeur and stuff. Anyway, we believe in one God, so he's not three like the Christians. Uh, he created the heavens and earth in 6 days, and then he created mankind. And for this God to communicate with us, he did send prophets. So he did send Abraham, he did send Adam, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon all of them. He sent them with one clear message, to worship him. Now, people call us Muslims, but we say that all the nations before us were Muslims, because what is Islam? Islam is to submit your will to the will of the true God, of the one God. So that's why it means Islam. So a person just kind of like submit his will to the will of the one God. This person becomes a Muslim automatically. But he has to believe in God, in Allah. He has to believe he has to believe in all the prophets and messengers that are out there. Now, with time, God sent the last messenger. The last messenger is called Muhammad, peace be upon him. He sent him with this revelation, which is the Quran, over 23 years. The Quran was revealed to him via the Archangel Gabriel. And then he called the people, all the people, Jews, Christians, idolaters, he called all of them to worship the one God, to worship the one deity, which is Allah. Now, as to you not believing that there is a creator, let me ask you a question. Now, can this world come out of nothing? Or there must be a cause to cause it?
Yeah, there's many people say that there's cause to cause.
There must be a cause.
Okay.
Now, how am I going to demonstrate that there is a cause to you? It's easy. If I say to you, I'm going to give you a hug, and you tell me, Michael, you tell me, no, stop. Let me ask the person behind me. So you ask the person behind you. The person behind you tells you, no, wait, let me ask the person behind me. And the other and the other. Will I ever give you the hug?
No.
I will never give you the hug.
Okay.
So that's what we call infinite regression. Infinite regression. So it will be just like in time. So there should be a time when it should stop. It should be a time when it should stop. Yeah.
It's just a time. Okay, that happened. Oh, no, they're staying here.
No, they're gonna go. Oh. So that we were talking about the infinite regression. So it has got to come to a stop. Now that stop that it comes to, so the creation of like who created this and who created that. So there is a cause, self-caused by itself, self-existing, and that self-existing thing. Oh,
Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
yeah.
So it's what you're trying to say is it's like hard to like imagine that it's self-existing and nothing's there cause behind it, right?
Yeah, it can't. There can't be because otherwise, sorry, because otherwise, what will happen? What will happen? It will be that we're gonna be in an infinite regression. It will never stop. Right. So it has to stop at a certain point. So for the universe to be. So because if I say to you, God created the universe, you tell me, but who created God? So it must be another God, then another, then another. We will never stop. Assalamu alaikum. My brother is more, my brother Michael Suboor. Michael Suboor. I was just telling him about, I stopped at the infinite regression. If you want to take it from there, I stopped at the infinite regression. That there should be, in time, it should have stopped somewhere. And the self-existing, it should be a self-existing deity that is the cause of all the causes.
Yeah, they call it a necessary being.
Necessary being.
It goes
Yeah.
back to Aristotle.
Yeah, yeah.
So Aristotle called it the first cause, right? And the idea was basically, Michael, that you can't go back forever. There has to be one point at where it stops. So do you believe in God?
My
I was in that conversation. Assalamu alaikum, bonjour, ça va? Ah, pas de quoi, pas de quoi. Ah, bien sûr, hein, lisez-le avec intérêt, avec intérêt. Allah, mon frère. Pas de quoi, mon frère, allez.
when I was a child, I went to church, but when I grow up, I decided not to.
He's kind of like an atheist or
Like
agnostic.
agnostic, yeah.
Agnostic,
Okay,
yeah.
so if I was to ask you, you see this information, it says here free.
Yeah.
F-R-E-E. Did these letters come together by someone throwing paint randomly, or they came together by intelligence and organization?
Somebody intelligently organizes
Yeah.
those stuff. Yeah.
In every single one of our genomes, there's 6 billion letters. And those letters, they code for us as humans.
Okay.
So if these letters can't come together by chance, how can our human genome come together by chance? You know, I'm sure you've seen documentaries about how complex we are
Yeah,
in terms
yeah.
of our brain, in terms of our DNA. Even if you look at all around us, we have amazing creatures, even in the oceans. Amazing types of jellyfish, amazing types of land mammals. So all of this
And
can
many
be
that are not even being discovered yet.
And you know, human technology is not as sophisticated as the technology that exists in nature.
Yeah. True.
So if a human being is behind the technology like headphones, then what about wings and eyes and brains and these things? It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess so. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if I make a factory, I'll make it for a reason. I won't make it for no reason, right? And I'll communicate with people. God doesn't leave humanity to run on its own. God tells us in the Quran that through having a relationship with God, we find happiness. I'll ask you a question. If I gave you $1 billion right now, okay, and say 100 billion, you became the richest person in the world, what would you do with the money?
Buy a house for my parents.
Okay, good. And what else?
Travel all around the world.
Okay.
Eat out of food.
Okay.
Help others, friends and family. That's so much it. Yeah.
And then after doing all of that, do you think you'll be fulfilled?
It's gonna be better than now, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
See, that's the thing. You're right, Michael. It's going to be way better than now, but there's something missing. Do you know there's people out there who have that kind of money? And they've done what you've said. They've traveled the world. They've had the best foods. They've not only built stuff for their parents, they've built stuff for poor people. They've helped entire countries. But there still is something missing.
Right.
And what the Quran says is that in the remembrance of God do hearts find peace. True peace is found in a relationship with God. So you can have 100 billion, but you're not going to be totally happy. Have you heard of Jim Carrey, the comedian?
Yeah, yeah.
Jim Carrey said, I wish everybody had what I have, so they know this is not the answer. He has unlimited access to women, unlimited access to wealth. He's a super famous celebrity, but he knows life is beyond these material things. So God has given us a soul, and the soul is not nourished through McDonald's or this type of junk. The soul is nourished through a relationship with God. So that's the central message of Islam, that worshipping God alone is the purpose of life.
So as I said to you, the full submission. So this submission to Him, submit all. Like even Adam, the first creation, submitted to God. And from Adam, the angels, they submitted to God. The other creation, like the jinn, they submit to God. And we also in our our ancestors, like, and the prophets before Muhammad, peace be upon him, so it's a submission to this one God. So when you hear the term Muslims, it's not just for us like 1400 years we talk about. We talk about since the existence of Adam until today, until the day of judgment. Thus Islam is to submit to the true God. So that's what it means.
I'll ask you a question. Have you thought about what happens after death? Have you ever thought about this?
Honestly, I used to think there could be heaven or hell, but now I honestly think there's nothing after that at this moment. So
If I'll ask you a question. If God exists,
then there will be hell, heaven and hell.
heaven and hell. Okay. Do you think God is going to just leave us on our own, or is God going to send us some form of communication if God exists?
That's the prophet and the Quran, right?
Yes. And I'll tell you something. I'm not telling you believe in Islam for no reason. The Quran says use your reason, use your common sense. If you're going to, Michael, walk down the road, are you going to look left or right, or are you just going to blindly cross the road?
Left or right?
You're going to use your mind. So the Quran says use your reason. Don't follow society. Don't follow your desires. Right? Think using your mind. Because look, millions of people convert to Islam. You must have heard of this. A lot of people convert to Islam. It's the world's fastest growing religion. Why do you think they convert? What do you think is the reason that people convert to Islam?
And they are of all walks of life. They are of all walks of life. Rich, poor, all kind of working people. You must have heard of lots of famous people that reverted to Islam. So
Famous singers like Sinead O'Connor.
may Allah have mercy on her soul. She passed
The
away.
famous Irish singer Malcolm X. Right? So why do people look? These people are rich and famous. They have everything. Now you seem like a very intelligent, reasonable person. Now the question is, if somebody has everything in this world, they have all the money, all the wealth, all the status, why do they still search for God? That's the question.
I think what you're trying to say is that if someone feels empty, even if they look like they have everything, it's not enough. And you
Absolutely.
say you have to have a relationship with the God. Yeah, I think I get it.
What in Islam, Allah Jalla wa Ala tells us in this book, I have not created the jinn and mankind except to worship me. So in here, Allah does not ask you for sustenance. He's the one that sustains you. Look just at the way you are designed. Like my brother Suboor in here was talking about the genome and like the 6 billion kind of letters. I mean, if we have to write 6 billion letters, we will run out of ink and paper.
Right.
So, but look at the complex of all of this. It has to have an intelligence that has made it. The necessary being, like he called it, the self-existing being, and he wasn't begotten, he begets not, as it is mentioned in the Quran. He is the one that created all the universe. I mean, all we know, we just know about the Milky Way and that. Can you imagine that there are so many Milky Ways out there? Not like necessarily the same as the Milky Way, but there are so many other universes.
Your tip of your finger, God has made unique. There's never going to be another Michael again.
Right.
So if you leave your fingerprint somewhere, it will be there as the only unique link that you have on this earth. Likewise, God's relationship with you will be unique. My relationship is different, yours is different, yours is different. And there's a reason we come out here to do this, because we realize true happiness is with God. I don't get paid for this, they don't get paid for this. We do this because we want humanity to discover God like we did.
Okay. So I think I get what your point is, and I'll figure out reading this. I have to go now.
No problem. And you know what, Michael?
Every Friday.
You know what? In South Korea, Islam is fast growing.
Yeah, I know.
It's fast growing in South Korea. Even in your universities now, they teach Arabic,
Yeah.
as like lots of the South Korean students are into the Islamic tradition and into Arabic, learning Arabic and that.
There's a mosque in Korea. In Seoul.
Yeah. And most people that frequent the mosque are Koreans, like yourself, Michael.
I see.
So
If you go online, you'll find an interview I've done with a Korean Muslim, Abu Bakr Lee. He's a Korean YouTuber. Okay.
the young chap, yeah.
No, he's this guy, Abu Bakr Lee.
Oh,
So
okay.
he converted to Islam, and he lives in Seoul.
Okay.
So you could what's it called?
Yeah.
Watch his stuff in Korean.
I'll take a look. All right.
Michael,
Nice to meet
pleasure
you.
talking to you, yeah.
Okay. Nice talking to
Thank you for your time, yeah.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Take care, yeah.
Take it.
بارك الله فيك أخي Suboor. No, I thought when I saw you, it was a good car because I was at that. So it's good to hear from your prospect because it's.
Also, why no? Is people love people, and we can
Stop,
show this
stop.
by the way. We can show this.